It's taking time to open. Sure. You have any doubts from the rest of the class? Yes.
No, Navin.
Okay.
I will ask.
So let's go to create supplier, and I'm just creating one supplier with naming convention as okay. Yeah. I'm selecting green. Okay, I'm just creating a new supplier with a Bajaj supplier naming convention and business relationship. I'm giving spend and authorized, and the top organization type I'm giving corporation and click on create. If you want to give the tax country, you can give the tax country as your native state as it's optional. I'm just not going to define this one. And from this supplier type, select the supplier and save it. And next go to address form, and under the address we'll just try to create a supplier header address here. So I'm just creating Bajaj supplier location, and I'm giving the country code as United States. Okay, and select ordering and submit to and go for save. You cannot save this address. Okay, yeah. So here it's asking actually there is some validation set for this address format. So I'm just going to give the city, state, and postal code information here. Whereas actually in that earlier instance we don't have any validations. That's the reason without giving that city, state, and postal code information, it used to be saved. So now I'm just going to save it once again. Okay, and save and close. Now let's create site information. Okay, and click on add. And what is our the procurement business unit? It is LG18BU1, and the address is Bajaj supplier location. And select purchasing and primary. Sorry, purchasing and pay, and save it. Now go to site assignment, and from site assignment, just assign your client BU and bill to BU. So ours is LG18BU1 and bill to BU also we are giving LG18BU1. So save it and save and close. Okay, so we have created a new supplier called Bajaj supplier, and now we will go and do the merging process. Okay, here it is like this: Bajaj supplier is going to acquire our LG supplier. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to do. Till now, all the invoices which we have created, that we created for the LG supplier. Okay, LG supplier has sent the invoice vouchers to us, and we have created invoices to them, right? So to merge in a supplier, what you have to do is you have to from the task pan you have to click on merge supplier. Okay, so click on this merge supplier, and here click on add row option. Okay, from the merge suppliers, you just need to click on add row, and here we will have fields like from supplier and to supplier. Okay, and from supplier and from supplier side, and to supplier and to supplier side. So you just need to give in the from supplier, the supplier you just want to merge with another supplier. Okay, so here I'm just going to give my LG18 supplier. Okay, the LG18 manual supplier I'm just selecting from supplier field. And what is the site? This supplier even has only one site. Okay, this is actually our not our site. This is some other business unit I just assigned. So I'm just going to select the site which is having with the business unit as LG18BU1. Okay, and here we have two supplier information is there. From the two supplier field, you have to give search with supplier who is going to acquire that LG18 supplier. Okay, select the supplier and select the site. Okay, and here you're having the transfer option. So under the transfer options, here we are having the options like what are all the options you want to be transferred to the Bajaj supplier. Like you want to transfer all invoices of your LG18 manual supplier, or none of the invoices, or purchase orders only, or purchase order and all invoices, and purchase orders and unpaid invoices and only unpaid invoices. So in this, what type of invoices you want to transfer to the Bajaj supplier, that we can just select from the transfer option. So I'm just going to select here all invoices and just click on submit. Okay, and before going to submit here, we should remember one thing, that uh, the supplier merging concept, it is like it's an irreversible concept. Once you merge the supplier, you just cannot reverse it once again. Okay, and I'm just going to submit it. Okay, here it's given the warning that this action is irreversible and may result in updates to transactions. We want to continue. Yes, click on yes. Okay. Yeah, you can see here under the process, it is showing it is running merge supplier process. So just refresh. Okay, and it is completed with a succeeded status. Okay. Now let's go to the invoice workbench and we'll see whether is there any invoices we can see from the LG suppliers or not, and the invoices now is it transferred to Bajaj supplier. Okay, so here now you can see all the invoices which are created for the LG supplier. Now it has moved to Bajaj supplier. Okay, so you can see all these LG supplier invoices which we created for the LG supplier, that all moved to now Bajaj supplier. Any doubts in this merging concept?
Naveen, do we have any changes between these two suppliers? I mean, OU level or site level, whatever. Any differences? I mean,
There is no difference. Here also we are using US Business Unit 1, and because you can supplier side, when I say supplier side is specific to the business unit, right? So there
okay,
is no change in the business unit or anything.
okay. Can we see the supplier names at match supplier level?
We have seen that we have given from supplier as LG18 manual supplier, and the two supplier we have given is a Bajaj supplier.
Okay. For
What is
example,
your question? Yeah.
I mean, for example, going forward, if I want to make any invoices with only LG 18 June 06 supplier, can we able to do that or not?
No, this is actually the invoice number, and here in the place of supplier, after
Sorry.
the invoice
Yeah,
number
okay,
amount,
okay.
you have
Sorry,
supplier,
sorry.
right?
Sorry.
So
LG
here
sub.
actually there is
Hmm.
no LG supplier now at all. Okay,
Okay.
the supplier has merged with Bajaj supplier.
Okay, okay.
So going forward, you just cannot create any invoices on LG supplier. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you. I just click on create. Let's see. Can be able to create any invoice on LG supplier or not. So I'm just selecting the business unit and search with your LG supplier. See, you can able to see now only LG in tax supplier itself. There is no LG in manual supplier. He has been merged with Bajaj supplier. Is it okay, Shiva?
Okay, Navin, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So now, yes, Sandeep, any doubt?
No, Naveen.
Okay, so in the same way, like it is like if the supplier is having multiple sites, and if you want to do the merging instead of the whole supplier to supplier, only the supplier site level merging is also available, and you can just do the supplier site level merging even. Like if the LG supplier is having two sites, like he's having the two sites in the two different locations, and only one of the division you are going to sell to the Bajaj supplier, then you can just do the supplier site level merging also is there. Okay, yeah. So after the supplier merging, we have two more concepts are there. That is manual payment and refund process. Okay, so manual payments actually we will prefer only like when the payments are done outside the payable. Okay, the payments which are not doing within the payables application. It's like for example, you are making the payment by using a type check or a wire transfer. Okay, if you are making the payment via bank wire transfers, or if you are making the payments to the suppliers by using the type checks, then and those information and those payments, if you are trying if you want to track in payables, then we will go for the manual payment. Okay, so that's what I have given here. Like for example, using it type checks or wire transfer within payables, you can record this payment and update the invoices that you paid. Also use this method to pay invoices with a clearing payment method. Like this clearing payment method is nothing but like we will do ECS payments, right? It's like whatever if you have any if you purchase any EMI basis, that will be deduct automatically, right? Or like you will go and make the payments of your uh, what I can say is like any policies which are there like on monthly basis or the quarterly basis, it will be auto deduct, right? So all those kind of payments, if you want to record in the payable, then we will go for the manual payment. Okay. So shall we go and create a manual payment now?
Naveen.
Okay. So now I'm just creating one invoice, and this time instead of quick payment, we will try to select the payment method as manual payment. So I don't have now LG supplier. I'm just creating an invoice with a Bajaj supplier. Okay, I'm just giving some invoice group in this. I think we have enabled all these options. And 209 is the invoice number I'm giving, and 1000 the USD amount. Actually, in this instance, there are multiple bugs are there. That's the reason actually we are not getting this. The states actually it should be default automatically as the period is open, but it's not working on in this. I think some R&D is going on in this instance. That's the reason actually most of the options are not working from this form itself. Okay, so I'm just going to create an invoice now. I'm saving it. Just click on save. Okay, invoice is not validated. Validate. Here it is like actually we have enabled multiple invoice options like PO matching is required and everything. So now the validation status it is showing under needs revalidation. So I'm just going to release a matching required hold and save and close. Okay. See, it's like even it's not allowing us to do the post to ledger also directly from this instance. It's always asking us to first do account in draft and then only it's allowing us to do the post to ledger. Okay. Yeah, I think there's some issues. Okay, it's asking approval event. So let's go and do post approval and now do post to ledger. Okay, I think there is some issue with this. So I'm just going to close this invoice. Invoice number it is 209, right? So let's go to the payment workbench, and from the payment workbench, let's go to create payment, and our business unit it is LG18BU1, and select the supplier with Bajaj supplier. Okay, now the type I'm going to select from the quick to manual, and select your disbursement bank account, that is LG18 bank account, LG18 JP Morgan, and MG18 check is the payment method is defaulting, and from the payment process profile I'm going to select, okay, give me a minute, and payment method is, it should be LG18 check. Okay, and here you can see when I'm selecting this LG18 payment process profile, it's giving an error stating that a manual payment cannot have a payment process profile with a processing type of electronic. So select a different payment process profile it is asking. Okay. So why it's not allowing us to take, because here actually the payment which we have done outside the application, we are trying to just track that payment in the uh, Fusion application by selecting the type as manual. So when you select the type as a manual, system will not allow us to use the payment process profile which we have while creating. If you have selected as a electronic method, okay, so that one will become only with the printed method payment process profile only it will take. So just let me see, is there any payment process profile we have with, okay. So then I think this Fusion payment process profile might be created without, not with the electronic payment method. Okay. So I'm just going to select now payment document. So that's the one thing you just need to remember about the payment method differentiation here. Sorry, about this PPP payment process profile. Now from invoices to pay, just click on select and add and select your invoice if you want to pay, that is 209. and apply and click on OK. That's it. We have done the manual payment. So click on save and close. And select your payment from the manage payment and do the accounting for this. I don't think the accounting will be done because let's see, the invoice accounting we haven't done, but still it can be done for this payment account. Subledger accounting cannot create an accounting entry for this event in the secondary ledger or reporting currency. Okay, so there is some subledger reporting currency and subledger secondary ledger issues are there. So that's the reason it's not coming. But actually, the account is going to be like liability account debit and the cash clearing will be your credit account. Uh, so there is no changes in the accounting entry. That will be remain same. Yeah. Is there any doubts in this creation of manual payment? Sure. Sandeep, is there any doubt?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just we are using the manual payment method instead of quick payment. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. And next, it is we are having one more concept of refund payment method. Okay. So under the refund payment method, it is like you can create refund payment method only for the invoices which were it means only for the debit and the credit memos. Only you can just create a refund payment method. For the standard invoice, that means the invoice which is having the positive values, you just cannot refund. Either it should be a debit or credit, then only you can go for the refund payment type. Okay. So generally, why we'll go for the refund is like you have given some advance amount to the customer. Okay, like you have make the payment in advance to the supplier. Like this Bajaj supplier, you have made the payment of 1000 USD in advance, and supplier has sent the goods worth of only 900 USD. Okay, and later on you just you're not going to expect any goods going to get received from this Bajaj supplier, and you are going to ask take back the remaining amount of 100 USD from this supplier. Okay, so for that what we will do is for this 100 USD we are going to create one debit memo. Okay, and for this when you are making the payment you are going to select the type as refund. Okay, so this is how you are just going to do this. So let's go and create the same in the application. So I'm just going to create directly a debit memo now. You have understood the concept, right? The logic why we are going to when we are going to use the refund payment type.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So just click on create. LG 18 Business Unit 1. And the supplier is Bajaj supplier. And invoice group. And 210 is the invoice I'm just selecting, and I'm giving some 1200 US dollars and giving the date. G18 immediate and 22, and amount I'm giving 1200 US dollars, and I'm selecting the distribution set. And the line level accounting there also I'm just giving. Actually, it should be default. I don't know why it's not defaulting. Okay, and I'm saving this one. So, sorry, it's not required actually for us. I'm just going to save and create next because the type actually we have to. We came here to create a debit memo, not that. Standard invoice one. So supplier, I'm just selecting. It's not selecting properly. Bajaj Supplier Corporation. $211 USD, and always the debit memo it should be negative sign. Okay, and now select the date and payment chance and invoice date. Here also amount I'm just giving $1,200 negative, and distribution sets and accounting date. So the line level accounting date even we have given, and now click on save up. Now save, validate from manage invoice action, and again revalidate that is in the needs revalidation status. So let's validate now. Matching required code and go for approval and do post approval. Now go and do accounting draft. Yes, Shiva, could you please enable mute? Okay, and we are doing post in ledger. Okay, so accounting has also done. So this is the amount actually. So whenever what I said is we will use this debit memo or the credit memo to reduce the. It's going to adjust the supplier balance. Okay, it's going to reduce the supplier balance, and the credit memo we will use only for the purchase returns reason, and other than the purchase returns for any other reason, if you are going to get back some amount from the supplier, then we will go for the debit memo. Okay, so the invoice number it is 211. So this amount, the debit memo which we have created, that is for the purpose of to take back the money from the supplier. So let's go to payments workbench and just click on this right task pan. Go to create payment and select your LG18 business unit 1 and select the supplier is Bajaj Supplier, and now the type I'm just going to select refund. Okay, so when I select the type as refund, you can see that there are multiple fields has been grayed out. So here you can see we have disbursement bank account and remit to account. This is belongs to supplier remit to bank account, this one, and we have this many fields. So you can just see when I'm going to select it as refund, it's showing only very few. Okay, so I'm just going to give my bank account, that's the disbursement bank account, and select LG18 check. Okay, and the document number. Okay, for each document number, why it's such changing? Because here we didn't create any document number default for our refund type method. Okay, if you remember or not, while creating the bank account, we have created a document number only for the payment method check, but that's only for the payment. Okay, for the refund now again it is it's a different type, so that's the reason I'm just going to give manually now, and click on invoices to pay, select on that, and select your invoice number 211. Click on apply and OK. Okay, and that's it. So this is how you can just take the refund from the supplier. So the payment document number is 1. Click on OK and go to manage payment. Please search with the payment date. Okay, here you can see there is no payment document even it updated, because this one is here payment document. It will come into the picture actually when you're going to make the payment. Here we have defined this payment for the refund process, so that is the reason there is no payment document it's showing. So let's go and do post to ledger directly. We'll see whether it's going to do or not. Okay, it's working for this, and you can see the event it is created for the refund recorded, and you can see the class it is cash clearing account data to liability account. Generally, once we make the payment, the accounting entry will be liability account data to cash clearing the credit. But as it's a refund one, so it will be in the reverse way. It's a cash clearing account debit and the liability account is to credit. Yeah. Any doubts in this refund process?
No, clear.
Okay. Yeah. Then, so actually, we have 3 types of payment methods. One is quick, and the second one is manual, and the third one is refund. So we have done with the 3 types of payment methods we have done, and we also seen the payment request, that is we have done with batch payment event, right? And okay, let me just see by going to the payment screen workbench, is there anything left over? So we have done this like submit payment process request and manage payment process request and manage payment process request template creation we have seen, and create payment and manage payments also we have seen. And while creating the payment, we have done with the payment creation with the quick, manual, and the refund method. And manage payment is for the querying the payments which we have created, and create electronic and payment files we didn't see. This I just cannot show in this instance. And if any conversion rate is missing, that we can just see from the apply missing conversion rate. It means like the invoice which you create in the USD and the payment you are trying to do it in the GBP or Euro currency. If any conversion rates are not defined on that particular date, then that apply that missing conversion rates you can just see from here. And positive pay file, send separate remittance advice. Okay, so this send separate remittance advice is nothing but here actually once you make the payment, that how if you want to communicate the same via the same to the supplier via email, then for that we will just configure this separate remittance advice. Okay, here it's like we are just going to give some payment file. I'm just not creating anything, just I'm going to select the one anything, and the format here I'm just using the seeded separate remittance advice format, and payment reference from and payment reference to. Okay, so it's nothing but actually to whom you are going to make the payment, that supplier information you are going to do this. And once you click on the submit, all the payments information which payments which are created against the supplier, that information will be sent to the supplier. Okay, so this is what about the separate remittance advice concept. And yeah, that's it. And accounting, see, instead of we are doing actually each and every payment we are selecting and we are doing the accounting, right? Instead of that, once by submitting this create accounting process, you can able to do the accounting across all AP invoices. And if you want to do any adjustment journal, you can do that, and review journal entries, and post to ledger reconciliation. Okay, payables to ledger reconciliation. This we will see in our next class, payables to ledger reconciliation. And we also seen this manage accounting period. From here you can just perform open and close periods. Okay, so create accounting. Okay, so instead of the individual payments accounting, you can just go for the you can select the application module and you can just run the create accounting across all the invoices at a time. Even the same we have in EBS also, the payable create accounting program. Okay, so as Funny is also not there today, so I'm just finding up our class here itself. And in our next class, we are going to see payables to ledger reconciliation. And one more minute. I think we have completed with all invoice types, right? All different invoices, whatever I have just mentioned some of our code. Okay, it's like we have done with the standard invoices and debit memo, credit memo, prepayments we have done, and we have also seen the interest invoice, withholding tax. Okay, the recurring invoice is left over, and this recurring invoice, it is very simple as it's nothing but this recurring invoice we can create only in spreadsheet. Okay, so like how we have created our journals were in spreadsheet, right? Journal creation spreadsheet. The same way we can create this recurring invoices by using only spreadsheet. Okay, so just click on invoice tab, and from this invoice workbench, you can see recurring invoices will be there here. Okay, create recurring invoices. So once you click on create recurring invoices, it will open that Excel file, and from there you can able to it will connect to your login, and then after you can just enter the data. That template will be default here. The period template will be available, and from the template we will enter the data. It is very same like how we have created the journal entries by using spreadsheet. Okay, so this also will just show you. And I think apart from this recurring from the invoice workbench, one I have left, that is recurring invoice. Yeah, I think that is the only one is still left. And apart from that, we have done with all the other invoices, right? Yeah, Shiva and Sandeep,
Yeah.
do you think anything we missed? Okay, I think we have to discuss one more concept, that is a new feature of Fusion application, that is invoice imaging. Okay, this invoice imaging also we will just see on our Monday class, and I think by Monday we can complete our AP. So just I
Okay.
have to show one recurring invoice and one invoice imaging, and we'll do instead of the individual account invoice accounting, we will go for the create accounting program this time, and I will show you the payables to GL reconciliation.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, Sandeep, we have still 7 more minutes are there, and if you have anywhere any doubts, you can just ask me related to AP.
Naveen, tomorrow we don't have a class, right?
Yeah, tomorrow actually this Saturday I thought to have some keep some classes, but I have some other work. So tomorrow there is no class this Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, Naveen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sandeep. So what about your practice?
Uh, Naveen, we'll start in next week. Next Sunday we'll start. Right? This weekend I'm going to.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Then Naveen, in how many days, how much time will take it Naveen, to complete this total process?
Next week I'm going to complete taxes and the fixed assets.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
even the in the next week actually I'm going to take in the weekend even.
Okay.
So by next Sunday, my target is to complete taxes, fusion expenses, and uh, fixed assets. So these three we are going to complete by this next Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
And then
What about
after,
AR, Naveen?
yeah, after the fixed assets, we'll have AR, and that will be complete. It will take 5 sessions. Okay, 5 or 6 sessions it will take for the AR.
Yeah, okay.
Then only the cache management will be there, and that cache management we can just see for 1 or 2 sessions. It is enough for the cache management.
Okay.
So this is 22nd. I think by July 10th or 12th, I will complete this batch.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yes, Sandeep. Math
Yeah.
by July 12th, I will close this course.
Okay, Navin. Navin, you can include that documentation also, Fusion documentation, how we get the documentation for the
Which documentation are you
methodology.
about this slide?
Yeah, this is not like requirements is a requirement document.
Requirement document I never shown you, right? Anytime.
No, and an MD50 like this.
Okay, we will share definitely. Actually, here we are not using any MD50 kind of document.
Okay.
For Fusion, in Oracle, we used to for EBS purpose we used to have AM methodology, right?
Yes, yes.
And there in the AM methodology, we have like the MD50 document and some other
DR100 something like
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, BR100, MD50, and MD70.
Yeah.
So whereas actually here in Fusion application, Oracle is suggesting us to go for Oracle Unified Methodology, that is OUM methodology. Actually, they have bring it for Oracle Fusion application implementation.
Okay.
So that is the OUM methodology we have. There it is like the similarities will be there with your MD50 naming documentation, but the naming conventions they have changed. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, still most of the projects, most of the clients are not using still this OEM methodology because it's bit new for everyone.
Okay.
But to say actually, for
Then
Fusion
how the
application,
requirement is taking with clients or something?
that I will take one session. There I will explain you. Okay,
Okay.
about the OEM methodology implementation, I will take one day, one session for that,
Okay.
and there I will show you what is the MD50 document is replaced with which particular document, that I will tell you. No problem. Okay.
Yeah, no, okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah. So Sandeep, by July 12th, definitely I'm just going to complete this course.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. I'm also actually thinking that is really I took May leave from my end, so I'm
No,
also
no
just
problem.
planning to
Just
complete
I'm asking.
ASAP.
Just I'm asking, Navin. That's it.
Okay. So
Okay.
I thought like you are thinking it's gone delay for a long time. That's the reason I'm just saying. Okay, so Shiva, any concerns do you have? And also by this Monday, you are going to receive all the remaining documents like JP, taxes, and Fusion expenses.
Okay.
And these three documents also, I'm just going to share to this tech list, and they will share to you all.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay now.
Okay.
Okay, Navin.
Yeah. Okay
Yeah.
then. Okay, Sandeep.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Navin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.